Your choices matter. Every time you go to the store, you're faced with dozens, if not hundreds of choices. Do you want to buy it new, or can you get it from a thrift store? Could you even make it yourself? Do you want paper or plastic? If plastic, do you want plastic that is recyclable, or do you still want your trash to be here long after you're gone? Do you want to promote a world of death or health? Do you really even need all the things that you're buying? Those are the kinds of things one should be thinking about when they go to the store or when they throw something away. Why? Because there is no away. Every choice you make, even small ones, make an impact on the earth and what it will look like in 10 years. Because of the garbage Americans throw out, half could be recycled, which is enough to fill a football stadium from top to bottom every day, and because in a lifetime, the average American will personally throw away 600 times his or her body weight, which for an average adult would leave a legacy of 90,000 pounds of trash at the end of their lifetime. Isn't that sad? Shouldn't we want a better legacy than that? Did you know consumers in North America and Europe waste about 209 to 253 pounds of food per person every year? The average person in the U.S. eats 4.7 pounds of food per day, which means the amount of food we waste in the U.S. per year would feed us about 1.5 to 2 months. How the American society sees our trash is really interesting. It's dirty, it's shameful, it shouldn't be seen. Restaurant after restaurant shook their head when I asked if I could take pictures of their trash. People don't want others digging around in their trash either. I have news for those people. Throwing it away means you don't want it. If they don't want people to see it, then they shouldn't do it. People don't want to reuse. It's not good enough for them. That kind of attitude is getting us in trouble. For the world to live as Americans, we would need 2 more Earths. 3 more if the population should double, and 12 Earths altogether if worldwide standards of living doubled in the next 40 years. What can be done about this? There are 4 major options that you have when deciding how you want to cut down on your waste. First, you could always go dumpster diving. That way you could actually take stuff out of the landfill as opposed to putting it in. This is Steve. He has been dumpster diving for 20 years. He's bought 2 houses with the money he's made from selling his treasures. Last month he made over $2,500. Everything in his house has been found in a dumpster. I didn't find anything while I was with him, but here are some other things I found. Usually my family takes the stuff we find and gives it to a thrift store or someone we know who could use it. That's what I did with the clothes and the dog food. The second choice you have is to donate to a thrift store. Pretty much anything else that can be helpful for someone else will be taken. Some Habitat for Humanities have a restore. They take just about anything you can possibly imagine that could go in a house, and the money goes to build new houses. It's a great program, and part of their mission is to keep as much things as possible out of the landfill. They have anything that one could possibly need to redo their house in that store. They break things down to the last scrap and wire, try to recycle. Only after they have exhausted all of their possibilities do they throw away something. The third option is to upcycle. Upcycling is the process of converting waste materials or useless products into new materials or products of better quality or higher environmental value. For instance, taking wrapping paper from Christmas and instead of throwing it away or even recycling it, you could make it into an artisan bow. Take corks and make them into a cork board. Take a pop bottle and spoons which you can get from the occasional takeout and turn them into a hummingbird feeder. Just Google it and see the endless possibilities. As a last resort, you could recycle. Recycling has its limitations. Paper can only be recycled about 7 times, but aluminum cans can be recycled and put back on the shelf within 1 month. Recycling aluminum can save enough energy to run a TV for 3 hours. Americans throw away 4.5 million tons of paper each year. That's enough to build a wall of paper 12 feet high from New York to Los Angeles. Only about 25% of the plastic produced in the U.S. is recycled. If we recycled the other 75%, we could save 1 billion gallons of oil and 44 million cubic yards of landfill space annually. Plastic recycling has its own problems though. Although there are 7 codes, there are thousands of different types of plastic which are varied by resins and colors added to make it look or feel a certain way. This means that the different plastics have different melting points. Plastic is also toxic. Programs must have certain equipment to process it safely. But what's the alternative? Aluminum takes 200 to 500 years for one can to be decomposed in a landfill. Glass and plastic take over 1 million years to decompose. Without sunlight, plastic could stay together indefinitely. Landfills are also set up that trash gets piled on top of trash and then is buried, so the plastic never decomposes and everything else takes longer than it would if it wasn't buried. Because of its toxic makeup, styrofoam is actually made so it doesn't decompose ever. That is why you should think before you buy or get excited about this cute styrofoam cooler display. Only buy plastic if you must, or if you can reuse it any other way. How we see our trash can determine what our future looks like. What does your future look like?